welcome to the first gear review of the channel. So I'll try and keep it sweet and short. Basically, I've used that bag for the past 2.5, nearly 3 months. It's the F-Stop Gear Dalston. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. And I thought I would share my experiences, what I've done with it, how I'm using it, and maybe a few tips on how to use the storage. So let's get right into it. First thing first, it is really light. It weighs 800 grams when it's empty, and that's really a big plus because gear is already heavy, so you don't want to have a lot of extra weight into the bag. But it's light, yes, but that doesn't mean that it's fragile. Like, I'm quite notorious to not be really kind with my gear in the sort of environment I shoot in. And this has really held up to it. So the zips are really strong, which I really like. And it is really, really weather resistant. The fabric, you have this little thing with like the clips, and you roll it so that no rain comes in. And I have tested that in the means of when I was in Sydney not long ago, and I was testing a new ND filter, and I didn't pay attention while everyone disappeared around me, and that's because a massive storm cloud was coming, and I got absolutely drenched, like absolutely drenched. I was soaked head to toe, and after running in the rain and nearly falling over a few times, I got shelter in a shop, and I looked at my bag and it was drenched, completely drenched. Only in the outside. I looked inside and everything was perfectly fine, and that's a big plus for me to be able to be sure that everything will stay dry. So I'm not going to go swimming with it, but to my standards, it's passed the weather resistant test big time. The bag's 21 liters, so you can really fit a fair bit of kit in it. And now I'll be going through just the usual like packing I do with it, I guess, like how I pack things. No, before that, I'll show the different features. So it has zip on the side with an insert here. There was usually another that was split in two, but I opened that because I usually put my water bottle here, or the 7200s or the 7300s. It's a good spot for it. On the other side, we have a few more compartments. Here I usually stack the Canon M5 down there, 2 lenses, sometimes like a wide angle, the 50 usually on the adapter. The Canon M5 has a 22, and then in the main area on the top here I have a jacket, because it gets cold in winter in Australia, I swear. And I usually have, if it's not in my hand, and I can't show you because I'm filming on it right now, the 1DX Mark II goes on top here. So that's a fair bit. And for all the small bits and bobs, I open the front, and here there's like 2 small pockets. Here I have business cards. I usually have the ND filter as well. And at the bottom here, I will have memory cards, hard drive, power bank. So all the sort of stuff that I have on the table, that's why I have it out there, so I can show what goes where. The time-lapse remote sometimes go in the front as well. If I have space, I put them on the side with a bottle. So yeah, you do fit like a fair bit in it. I do like that because I lose my keys all the time, so I like to have that little clippy thing to put them in. And yeah, so that's the sort of compartments you get with it. It's quite sturdy, like the bottom parts with the camera all around the shell feels really good, so that I like. But I also use it in different and I guess weirder ways, because I don't always use it like in an urban environment per se. I take it to the beach for sunset shoots, sunrise. I went diving not long ago, so it was just a short day trip and I didn't need much. So again, I had the 1DX Mark II and I had the GoPro on the side. I even had my dive mask on the sides. The other side where I don't need the M5 or second body, I have my keep cup, because when I'm out for a long period of time I will always need more coffee, so I have my keep cup, so I don't have to use reusable cups. Sorry, side on. so I don't have to use non-reusable cups. And on top of everything, when I have my jacket or anything on the top pocket, I have one of these F-Stop little pouches. In there usually I have spare batteries for the 1DX. I have tripods, bits and bobs, I have more memory cards, and I have cutlery, like metal cutlery, so if I'm hungry, again, I don't have to use too much plastic. So now I will go through a quick packing to show you how all of this sort of fits in there, and yeah. To give some example, the few trips I did with it is I flew down to Sydney for a week for catching up with Matt, going to the French embassy, like a lot of little small random things, so I didn't need a lot of kit. So I only had that as my carry-on, and it was great. It was really nice to be able to travel so light. And we took it to a few time-lapse trips around the city. That was really fun, and they performed quite well, like the one where I got drenched. I've taken it on day trips with friends and family. I've taken it to the beach a fair few times already. It's just for these like small occasions where you don't really need a big bag and you just want something a little smaller. The one thing I wish was slightly different is an extra attachment or something for the tripod, because currently I just put it across here, because again I can't show you, it's filming right now, but I put the tripod here and I strap that over it, and I don't think it's designed for that, but it hasn't failed me, but it's just not the most practical. I wish there was, like on the Mountain series, like clips on the side so you can put the tripod on the side, but besides that, that's really my only little comment on the bag, and so far it's done really well. We'll see how the zip go like over time, but they look really sturdy, and they have that like extra coating on top of them, so it looks like it will be still weather resistant for a while. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. Full disclosure, I am part of the F-Stop Ambassador program, so I did not have to pay for this, but I wasn't asked to do a review. I just really wanted to share my thoughts on this, because I've had a few questions on Instagram, on the BTS account and everything. Mainly people asking like, oh, can you fit this in that? Can you fit that? I've had a few questions, people asking, can you fit the 1DX in it? Yes, the 1DX fits in it. It's 21 liters, so it's still a fair amount of gear. So that's about it. I hope this has helped you to see the bag in a bit more context and some of the details of it. And yeah, now I need to unpack that, turn everything off and go down to the beach, because I want to go and shoot the sunset today. There is not many clouds, but there might be an orange glow, a surfer or something. So if you've watched until now, thanks. And I will be doing way more in-depth review of my F-Stop Gear Shuka, my big 70-liter adventure bag, because that's the one I've used for a long time. I've tested it in way more conditions, and before that I used a Tilopa for 5 years across many countries and a lot of trips, and I do have a lot of experience with those two bags, so I will do another in-depth review of those. So stay tuned for that. Cheers!